Cosmo Kitty's Snowy Adventure by Stephanie K. Litwin. And let's begin. Cosmo Kitty's Snowy Adventure. This book is dedicated to my grandchildren, Hester, Andrea, Mavis, Micah, and Beulah. Cosmo Kitty likes to go out every night. On a snowy December night, he goes outside, just as he always does. However, it doesn't take him very long to decide that the night is too cold and too snowy. Cosmo Kitty wants to go back to the house, but the house is dark now. Everyone has gone to bed. So he trots off to the barn and squeezes through a narrow opening under the door. Inside, he and his friend Buster Cat curl up on the soft, dry hay and fall asleep. Just as the snowy, dark sky begins to brighten, Cosmo Kitty decides to try again to get in the house. Maybe someone is awake now and will let me in, he says to himself. The snow is still coming down hard, and it has become quite deep. It's difficult for him to see where he's going. Cosmo Kitty is very determined and trudges on into the drifting snow to the back door, or so he thinks. Before long, he realizes he has gone the wrong way to the back door. "Oh no, where am I?" Cosmo Kitty cries out. He can't turn around and follow his paw prints back to the barn because the wind has covered them with snow. Hoping he'll find something familiar, Cosmo Kitty keeps walking. By midday, the snow begins to taper off. Cosmo Kitty has been walking for a long time, and he doesn't know where he is. Suddenly, a huge black crow appears in a tree above him. The crow laughs at him. "Caw, caw, caw, are you lost, little kitty?" The crow teases him more by swooping down and almost touches Cosmo Kitty on his back with crow's sharp claws. Cosmo Kitty runs as fast as he can through the deep snow. He does not know where he is. "I'm so cold, I'm so hungry, meow," he cries. Suddenly, an enormous and very noisy snowplow goes whizzing by. It just misses hitting Cosmo Kitty. He gets covered with wet snow, and quickly he makes his way up and over the snowbank. The sky is beginning to get dark. Night is coming. Cosmo Kitty thinks to himself, "I have to find a place to hide and sleep." He looks around and sees a huge evergreen bush to crawl under. He settles down in the deep, dry leaves. Soon he is sound asleep. Just before dawn, something startles Cosmo Kitty awake. He looks up to see two great big yellow eyes staring at him. "Oh no, it's Mr. Fox," he shrieks. With Mr. Fox close behind, Cosmo Kitty quickly scrambles up out of the deep snow and scoots up a tall tree. Cosmo Kitty is out of breath, but safe. He waits a long time for Mr. Fox to finally give up and go on his way. Cosmo Kitty sits all day in that tree. The wind begins to blow. "I'm so cold, I'm so hungry, I'm so scared, and I want to go home," he whimpers to himself. The next morning, Cosmo Kitty climbs down from the tree. He walks through the deep, cold, wet snow and into the street. After walking a long time, he thinks to himself, "I hope I'm going the right way to get home." It's hard for him to see just where he is and where he is going. So much snow is piled up along the street. Cosmo Kitty spots a mouse and chases it. The mouse gets away. He cries out, "I'm so cold, I'm so hungry, I'm so scared, and I want to go home." He walks through the plowed streets all day, trying to find his home. The sun is getting low in the sky again, and soon it will be dark. Cosmo Kitty doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know where to go. He's very cold, he's very hungry, and he's very scared. And he really, really wants to go home. Cosmo Kitty begins to cry. Mew, 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 where is my home? He slowly looks up with tears running down his whiskers. He sees a shadow up ahead. Oh no, could it be Mr. Fox again? He cries out. But a moment later he realizes it is not Mr. Fox, it's Buster Cat. Cosmo Kitty yells. He runs as fast as he can to his friend, and when he reaches Buster Cat, Cosmo Kitty leaps at him. He throws his paws around Buster Cat, and they tumble roly-poly into the snowbank. As they get to their feet, Buster Cat says, I'm happy to see you too. Where have you been, little kitty? Cosmo Kitty grins and says, I'm cold and I'm so hungry and I want to go home. To himself he thinks, but I'm not scared anymore. Well, Buster Cat says with a sigh, the next time there's a storm, just stay put where you're already safe and warm. It's a good thing Buster Cat is a wise old cat and he knows his way home. So homeward bound they go. They arrive home just in time for Christmas Eve dinner. Cosmo Kitty purrs. It feels so good to be home as he rubs against everyone in the family. I'm not cold, I'm not hungry, I'm not scared. I'm home, and I'm never going to go out on a snowy night again. The end. Hello, I'm Stephanie Litwin, a retired early childhood educator and children's librarian living in Western Massachusetts. This story is based on my cats, Cosmo and Buster. Years ago, when my family and I were living in northern New Jersey, our cat Cosmo went out one December evening, but he didn't come back later that night as usual. During the night, we were hit with a blizzard. There was no sign of Cosmo for several days, and I was sure he'd somehow had gotten killed. On Christmas Eve, during our annual celebration with family and friends, Cosmo showed up at the kitchen door. We were all so thrilled to see him healthy, in one piece, and of course hungry. I never found out what happened to him during those few days, but decided to make up a story about what could have been his adventure. Cosmo crossed the Rainbow Bridge many years ago at the age of 15, but he is forever remembered in this story, in my story, Raising Otter, and of course in our hearts. Love you, my sweet kitties, Buster and Cosmo. And that's the end. And thank you for watching and listening.